One of the most common questions I've received since I came to Norway is, did you win a scholarship? Or how much tuition fee do you pay? Guess what, guys? I did not win any scholarship and I do not pay tuition fee to study here. And yes, I'm doing my master's degree in international environmental studies, and yeah, as I said, I did not win any scholarship and I am not paying tuition fee to study here. So you must be wondering, how then is it possible? Well, keep it locked because I am here with all the tea, all the details, all the information. If you have not subscribed to the channel, subscribe, but let's get straight into the video.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side.
Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Shykoh Mwangi. If it's your first time to ever see me on YouTube, hello. I'm so happy that you clicked on this video. Thank you for coming to watch my content. Consider subscribing to the channel because I'm sure you will enjoy my content. Currently I am living in Norway and I'm from Kenya, and I came here to Norway to do my master's degree in international environmental studies, and that's what this video is about. I'm gonna be sharing with you guys my journey of coming to study in Norway. I'm gonna address some questions I've been asked on Facebook, especially by people from Wanderlust Diaries, which is a Facebook group that I posted, and guys were curious, how did you go to Norway, how much is the tuition fee, and a lot of other questions. So I thought of doing this video. First of all, if you're interested in studying in Norway, this is the perfect time because application for studying in Norway, the universities, the application starts in October until December, or some schools January and February, and you get the results to the application in March, April, around that time. A little backstory. I don't want this video to be so long, but Akimi, I just love giving stories and I feel like it's something I don't do much on this channel. But I started longing to go study abroad. Not study actually, I started longing to live abroad since I think I was in high school and campus. I had this dream, one day I'm leaving this country now, Kenya, and I just wanted to go abroad. So I have been applying a green card since I think I cleared high school. Every year I apply for green card and have never been successful. So I decided to try other means. I started looking for a means to use my education, especially after I graduated from campus. So I actually started by applying in the US, and I actually got admitted to a college. So in the US, when you want to apply there, it's better to apply colleges than universities because colleges are cheaper. So I applied and got accepted, but then I couldn't raise it was expensive to study there. So I was like, no, I don't want to study in the US because I don't want to go start paying. And then my sister, around that time, God blessed her, yani God did the thing, and she met a Norwegian man on one of her travels to Norway. Actually she was on a church mission, but that's a story she has a YouTube channel which I'll link here, so if you're interested in that story, go watch it. But fast forward, so when she came here, she actually found out that studying in Norway is free. And also I confirmed when she told me, I also went to YouTube to look for videos, and I actually saw quite a number of videos that, wow, education is free in Norway. That's bachelor's degree, master's degree, PhD, it's all tuition free. So I was interested, but at that time I was doing my makeup. I was a makeup artist in Kenya, so I was doing my makeup things. I wasn't that serious. I think I had given up of trying, and yeah. So I applied. She sent me a lot of links to apply. She told me apply in every school, but I only applied to 1 or 2 schools. And the following year, that was I think in 2019, so in 2020 I got the results and they told me I'm on the waiting list. So I qualified to be accepted. I had applied at University of Bergen, which is in the southern part of Norway, and I had applied to study for Masters in Global Health because my background is in public health. They told me you've qualified, but there were a lot of you, so we've put you can accept to be on the waiting list such that in case somebody doesn't show up, you can fill up that position. So I accepted, and now my hopes got up and I was like, so it's actually possible for me to go to Norway. And the reason I think I was also doubting myself is because in campus I was such I was such a joker. Like, I never took my studies that serious in campus, but I passed and I got my degree. But then I ventured into business and I was like, I'm not tamaking looking for jobs in Kenya. So that was kind of giving me low self-esteem when it comes to applying for a master's degree, because I was like, I'm not sure if I'm gonna be accepted. And because also I had done like supplementaries in my transcript, which could be seen in my transcript. But I said, you know what, if that University of Bergen had given me the chance, even though it was in the waiting list, it means I can actually qualify to do this thing. So this was just to encourage someone who feels the same. Maybe you've no experience, you've not like worked in what you studied for your degree, or maybe this will be your first bachelor's, or maybe you feel like you didn't pass so much in your bachelor's to come study here for your master's. It's actually possible. Fast forward in 2021, when the applications opened in October, I started doing my research, and that's when I was settled. I'm gonna apply for my master's in Norway. Remember, I've told you guys I have a background in public health. I did a bachelor's in public health in Kenya, in JKUAT, and I really love public health actually. But when I was applying, I wasn't able to get the master's in public health in most schools here, or if I get it, maybe it's not offered in English, it's offered in Norwegian, which was limiting. I actually applied in 10th November 2021, and in Norway there are about 10 public schools, public universities, and this is where the tuition is free. Of course, if you go to a private university, then it will not be free. So I applied in 10th November, and I actually got my results in 25th March. So as I've told you, the application starts in October up to around February, and you get the results around March, April, but you don't report until August, because the autumn semester starts in August. So you can come end of July or August. In November 2021, I applied in like all the public schools. I was like, I am not taking chances. I have to go to Norway. So I am going to apply in each and every school. So what I would do, I would just go to the website, which is what basically you're supposed to do. I'm gonna leave a link in the description. I'm gonna leave the names of the different public schools and the links to their website where you apply. So I would just click on the website to a certain school, look at the programs, master's programs offered in English, and try to look for something that relates with public health, which was my background, and apply. So for example, University of Oslo, I applied public health nutrition or something, or was it Oslo Met? I applied for public health nutrition. That was the closest I could find. University of Bergen, I applied again for global health, because the global health they offer is very much like public health. But I can't remember the others, what I applied. I also applied University of Tromsø, or was it UIT, Arctic University? One of them, I applied for a master's in public health. So if you want to study here, you can either study for a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, a PhD, and you can also do something that is lower than a bachelor's degree. I just can't remember what they call it, but it's mostly like a theology course that goes for 1 year, but then that's like private, that's not public, so there is a certain fee you pay for that. That's why I'm not talking about it. I'm just talking about what is free to study, what doesn't charge tuition fees. For approved education, you at least, the minimum you would require to apply for a bachelor's degree is your KCSE certificate, which is like the secondary, high school, secondary. So if you're from Kenya, KCSE, you need KCSE certificate, of course, and then you need at least 1 year of university education. So actually, if you are watching this and you're still doing your degree in Kenya, but at least you've covered 1 year and you have the transcripts for 1 year, then maybe you're just going to your second year, you can actually apply to come do your bachelor's here. So of course here you'll start from scratch, but that 1 year you've done in Kenya or in another country actually accept that. If you're coming to do your master's, you need to have a bachelor's degree. Honestly, it's not possible for me to give you information about what grades do they require and things like that, because that again is dependent on the program you are applying and the school that you are applying to study. For me, as I told you, I wasn't sure if they're gonna accept me, but they actually did accept me. And guys, for my program, more than 600 people applied, and around only 15 of us were accepted, and I was among the 15. I was shocked when I was looking at those results. I was like, me, because as I told you guys, I was a joker when I was doing my bachelor's degree. So I felt so privileged, and I really appreciate God. So what happens here in Norway, they have a joint application portal for all schools, and it's called Web or something like that. The pronunciation of most words in Norway is so tough. When you go to a certain school, for example, you go to the website of that school, it will direct you to that portal where you will fill out all your information, the course you want, and you will attach your documents. Of course, you need your passport, your upper secondary school, so it can be, if you're from Kenya, the Kenya certificate, KCSE certificate. You also need the document of higher education, which will be your university degree certificate, the certificate you were given after your graduation. Of course, your transcripts from the 4 years of your studies in campus. You also need a motivation letter, but this depends also on the program you're gonna apply for. Some programs you don't need a motivation letter, but for some you need. And also it depends on the school you are applying. So for mine, I needed a motivation letter, so I used my KCSE certificate, my transcripts from university, the university certificate, my motivation letter. So for financing, you would need a recent bank statement, at least the last 3 months. Again, these things are dependent on the school you are applying. For me, it needed the last 3 months. Most of them need the last 3 months of a bank statement. Of course, it should show that you've been having money in that account, and also if your account is not good, maybe you are just finished with your degree. Of course, they don't expect maybe for you to have all that money flowing through your account. So you can be sponsored by someone. You can use the bank statements of your parent, or if you have someone in Norway, basically someone who can sponsor you. If you decide to use someone else's bank account, they have to write for you a sponsor guarantee letter, which is a letter where they are stating that they will help you pay for the fees that is required by UDI, the Norwegian embassy. So they need you to deposit a certain amount of money when you're coming to show that you are able to cater for your own needs. Government expects you to cater for your own needs, so to pay for your own housing, to know what you're gonna eat, transport. And as you've heard, Norway is quite an expensive country. Somehow I feel like also people exaggerate, though it's expensive in some aspects, but it's honestly, when I came here, I thought I can't even be able to buy anything for myself because of the way people say it's such an expensive country. But actually there are some affordable things too. Of course, the transport is quite expensive, depending on where you live. For example, I pay almost 12,000 per month for transport, so yes, that's expensive. And for example, accommodation in the school hostel can be around 4,000 Norwegian krones, which you can convert to around $400 or 40,000 Kenya shillings, between 40,000 and 50,000 Kenya shillings. So if you're gonna pay that every month, and also pay for your food, like buy food, transport, though if you live in school, then you don't need to pay transport all the time, but at least you can see why they need you to have some money. So you can't just come here without money. You will need money. Even though you're not paying school fees, you will need money. The proof of funding, you can actually also attach a letter confirming you are eligible for a scholarship or a student loan from your home country. So that's actually also possible. So once you receive a letter of admission, they actually guide you on the next steps. So for me, once they sent the letter, I was supposed to accept the admission at the portal I was talking about. So after I did that, then they sent me like a description of the next steps that I'm supposed to do. So of course, the first one would be applying for my visa. So, and of course I'm hoping by now, if you want to go abroad to any country, at least you have your passport. That is like the first thing, guys. Have your passport ready, because you don't know when God is gonna show up. Anyway, guys, I've just finished editing this video and it's over 30 minutes, so I have decided to split it into 2 parts because I know most of you won't watch a video that is more than 30 minutes long. I would understand, so I have decided I will upload them in 2 parts. So this one I'm just uploading after this, and it will be part 1. Then part 2 I'll probably upload it on Sunday or Monday, depending on how you guys watch this one. So please share it. If it gets a lot of views quickly, I'm just straight up uploading the second part, so share. And this part was also quite detailed, but the second part is very detailed as well, and I have literally already edited the whole thing, so I have just split it into 2 parts, and both parts are complementary to each other. Both parts are so detailed. For the other part, I have talked more on the financing, the money needed, and if students can work, their jobs, the weather. I have talked also about racism and things like that from my experience, that is, considering I'm the only black person in my class. I have talked about that. The faster it gets views, then I just have to upload part 2. So share it. I have spent so much time shooting this content today because I wanted to be so thorough and put a lot of information. So the best thing you can do for me, like some appreciation, please just share it, and don't forget to subscribe Bini. Thank you so much for watching. Keep it locked for part 2. It's gonna be awesome, loaded with so much information. See you on the next one. Kwaheri.